Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. What's going on, bro? You right here?
Actually, I'm in the dark, yeah? Remember me, we was fundraising on TikTok.
Yeah, I remember you. How can I not remember you, bro? Inshallah, we're gonna need you this Ramadan, bro. Ramadan's only 80 days away. And now we got big plans for Sham, bro. We got big plans.
Subhanallah. How many hours until Damascus? How many hours?
Allah knows best, bro, but Homs is done, so inshallah Damascus is surrounded. We'll see how it goes.
I'm thinking when I go to sleep and wake up, you're going to be in Damascus, Akhi.
Inshallah ta'ala. Grill, fellas, jazakallah khair, may Allah bless you. Everyone who's watching, guys, we're going to need you guys for Ramadan. So please do message us. We're going to need your support. Sham now is going to need even more support, and we are going to be doing the GSP, the Greater Sham Project, which we're going to unveil, inshallah ta'ala.
I think what it is he's taken more of a Salafi stance point, yeah? But you know what? I'm a Salafi, but when it comes to Syria, I am conflicted because it's easy for me to say that lying in my comfy bed in London, yeah? Now, I didn't live under Hafiz al-Assad. I didn't live under Bashar al-Assad. I think people are underestimating how oppressive and evil these people were, where you couldn't even thought about the regime, you would go missing. It was so bad. So I think, you know what? I may have this viewpoint, but I would never go. There's plenty of Syrians where I live. I would never go to a Syrian and say to them, don't you think it was better not to rebel, and wasn't security better? Because when your child goes missing and comes back tortured and his body bloated, I very much doubt I would be saying, oh, let's not rebel against them. I would want my rights, you know? Only the Syrian people know how it feels. And you know what's shocking as well? You see everything that has transpired, what we've been watching in regards to you and brother Bilal Abdul Karim and all of the people that were criticizing Al-Jawlani, yeah?
Yeah.
But because now that he is taking it to Bashar, it seems they're okay now.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair point. So look, everybody knows that I've been very critical of HTS, and I had public issues with them when it comes to justice and stuff like this. But the reality is, bro, we have a history of this, right? And there's certain principles. Muazzam Beg is on the live. If he wants to jump on, Sheikhna, my teacher, if you want to come on, my mentor, please do jump on the live, inshallah ta'ala. We'd love to hear your words of wisdom. But responding to what you're saying, bro, this is a really important point, that sometimes we don't understand that if we have ikhtilaf, if we have differences with our brothers who are Muslims, that doesn't mean if they do good things, it negates that. Do you understand? It's really, really interesting, right? Because when I was in prison with HTS, one of the top leaders who was sitting with me, he said to me, Abu Hussam, he said, Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, when he was in prison, and he was imprisoned by the Mamluks, okay, who were Muslims, and they had Aqidah issues and differences. Shaykh al-Islam was calling for certain things, and they imprisoned him unjustly. When the Mongols came, Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah gave the fatwa for the people to fight alongside the Mamluks against the Mongols, right? So he said, the guy, the leader in HTS was saying this to me. He said that, look, are you telling people that, you know, there's, I would never tell people not to do that. Do you understand? You're fighting for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala against an evil oppressor. But when it comes to justice and, you know, the torture of Muslims and stuff, we don't agree with you, and we see that you're doing things that are wrong, right? So my position is still the same today. When it comes to justice, if our own Muslim leaders start being unjust towards the Muslim population, we will try to advise them sincerely in private and try to work with them. And then, you know, if we can't find a resolution, then eventually we may have to speak out publicly against them. It's a form of you could say, Amr bil Ma'ruf wa Nahy al Munkar. It's a form of, you know, keeping the leader in line. I don't believe in this thing of, you know, you just obey the Emir, like what ISIS would say, even if he lashes your back. Do you understand? First of all, he has to become the legitimate emir. And if that happens tomorrow, where you know, someone becomes the legitimate emir of Syria, then of course we have to even be more kind of censored in our approach of how we're going to do commanding the good and forbidding the evil. But that all being said, at the end of the day, if they are fighting for the sake of Allah against a clear enemy, of course, then we would all be together in that, united in that. There's times like this that we should be united. Just because we have differences, it doesn't mean that, you know, we are against them. And to be honest, I was going to do a video on this since someone's saying, bro, watch what you say, you'll get blocked. Yeah, maybe I will get blocked. But don't worry, I'm stateless, so I don't really care about getting blocked. I lost my citizenship. I'm not fussed about getting blocked, you know what I mean? I'm not on here for the followers anyway. But the point that I'm making is, the final point is, I was going to do a video speaking about all the good things that, you know, HTS and some of the other groups have done in this offensive, because I believe that, you know, we should be just, and now when it comes to the things that they've done, they've been very merciful. Even the way that they're dealing with the prisoners from the regime, they basically put out a statement, and that's why there's so many defections right now. First of all, they smashed the ranks of the enemy. Secondly, they did similar to what the Taliban did, and this is from the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. You know, when you're coming into an area, you let them know that, listen, if you lay down your arms, we will give you a covenant of safety and security. So this is what HTS has said. HTS said, if you don't have blood on your hands, if you're a military soldier and you fought us as a military, and then you lay down your weapon now and you go in your home, you're safe. But if you were a shabiha, or you were a thug for Bashar Assad, or you were a general and you tortured civilians and you were involved in brutal oppression like that, then you're going to face the wrath of the law. And I agree with them 100%. I agree with them 100%. So,
SubhanAllah, you know, the way I'm seeing it is, look, all of us here and outside of Syria are scouring the internet looking for up-to-date information on what is happening. So when we have, it's very important to ask the specific questions, analysis, and know exactly what is happening. So there's been a report that 2,000 regime soldiers have defected and gone to Iraq. Is that true?
That is true. Yeah, that is true. So you got to understand now, the Syrian army is all like split up all over the place. So yeah, there's parts of the army have defected, gone to Iraq. What does this mean? Join my team. I got some heart on my head. I don't even know what that means. Became the number 20.
Bilal Abdul posted a video on X, and he showed the border between Jordan. There's nothing there. They're so empty. There's not even staff there. There's no military, nothing. They're all gone. It's a ghost town.
Yeah, the rebels have taken over the whole south. So alhamdulillah, you know, there's still routes through the desert though. There's still routes through the deserts if people did want to get through, because obviously the whole eastern side of Syria is all desert. So you can get to Iraq, you can get to Jordan via that. But
with the current rumors, there are rumors that the US military have been using their B-50 whatever bombers, and they've been attacking positions of the regime.
No, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true, bro.
There's no signs of, there's no kind of any involvement of the US or any other outside militaries doing anything.
From what I've seen, none of that. From what I've seen, none of that. Look, bro, they didn't need that. All that was needed, and this is what you need to understand, bro. All that was needed by what's it called? By the militaries here on the ground, or the Mujahideen or the rebels, was for the help of the Russians to be kind of removed, and that was enough. That was enough for them to gain the victory, because they were already beating all of these, you know, the Bashar army by itself. Bashar army was weak from day one. If the Iranians and Hezbollah hadn't come in, then he would have never survived as long as he did. And then when the Russians came in, that's what tipped the balance.
Of course, and of course, Daesh doing what they did as well.
Of course, Daesh doing what they did didn't help.
In a war, there's always a propaganda battle, and I'm not even talking about propaganda from terrorist type groups. I'm talking about mainstream news, and you can always kind of judge the stance and the position external governments are taking in regards to regime change. So what we're seeing from Sky News, BBC, European media is the kind of media, you know, right at the beginning, do you know when they were all down for removing Bashar, when Obama was behind it, Hillary Clinton was behind it, the media was very pro-rebel. That's what it seems like now. It seems that they have all kind of agreed on removing Bashar, and it looks like that's the way it's going.
Yeah, I think there's a reason for that. There was some Russian leaks that, you know, look, conflict, wars, look, one thing that is true about every war is that there's a beginning and an end. People don't have a thirst for war forever. Do you understand? So the war had to end, bro. The war needs to end. 12 years the war's been going on, 13 years the war's been going on, and Bashar had become a liability. He was refusing to come to the table and talk. The Russians and the Turks are working together in different countries like Niger, etc. So they wanted to find some resolution to this Syria problem, and Bashar just wasn't coming to the table. And so that's why, kind of, you know, obviously some kind of deal was made. We don't know the extent of that, but alhamdulillah, it's in the benefit of the current, you know, rebels and mujahideen on the ground, alhamdulillah.
So based upon what you was just saying earlier about talking about the injustices and everything that transpired in the last couple of years, you know, when you were basically, you know, after speaking to Abdullah, you were basically given an ultimatum to leave Idlib. Yeah,
no,
or else.
no, that's not true. That's not true. I wasn't given an ultimatum to leave. That's not true at all.
But it was kind of like it was a sense of you left for your own safety.
No, that's not true. That's not true either. The reason why I left Idlib is because I was told that I wasn't allowed to speak in the media against any group. So I decided to leave Idlib to preserve my ability to speak publicly. That's the reason why I left. No one gave me an ultimatum, said you have to leave. The opposite. They were like, listen, all your projects can run, you can do everything you want to do, we won't give you no issues, but we just don't want you to speak publicly. And obviously I didn't want to do that, because I believe Amr bil Ma'ruf, Nahi and command against the good and forbidding against the evil is, you know, really important. But anyway,